Hi everyone, and welcome to my birding YouTube channel. And welcome also to the first episode of my 2024 Little Big Year. So, as you may know, a big year in birding means an effort to see as many different bird species as possible in one year within a specific geographic region. That region could be a country or a state or province. It could even be the whole world. But in my case, I'm doing something on a smaller scale, which is a big year on my home patch in eastern Massachusetts. My home patch is the Horn Pond Recreation Area, which is where I'm standing right now. It consists of a fairly large main pond, about 100 acres in size, as well as about another 100 acres of various habitats such as small lagoons, streams, forest, and some cleared areas. So with a wide variety of habitats, it's a really nice birding spot. But with only 100 acres or so to explore, it's a pretty small area for a big year, which explains the name, Little Big Year. I want to mention an important ground rule for my big year, which is that I'm only going to be counting birds that I'm actually able to show in my YouTube videos. That could be either a short video clip or a photograph. Based on that constraint, I'm setting myself a goal of 125 species for my little big year. It's likely that I'll actually see or hear more birds than that, probably more like 150 species, but as you can imagine, it's not always possible to photograph every species that you encounter, so I think that 125 is a challenging target. Finally, one more reason that this is a little big year is that it's already mid-March and I'm just getting started. So, let's go find some birds. These northern shovelers have been hanging around my home patch for about a month now. I'm glad they stuck around long enough to become bird number one for my little big year. This spinning behavior is something that shovelers are known for. It's thought to be a way to bring food up to the surface. We've also had a few green-winged teal hanging around all winter. They'll likely be heading north to breed soon, so it's good to get them on the list now as well. This male is really handsome when the light strikes him just right. Hermit thrushes usually head south for the winter, but this individual spent the winter right here. It was nice to find him out in the open, warming up in the sun. This male wood duck is a recent spring arrival. Wood ducks breed here at Horn Pond and are a favorite with photographers. It's not hard to see why. Cooper's hawks have been noisy and active in recent weeks. It looks like they may be planning to breed here this spring. I'll be sure to let you know if they do. Black-capped chickadees are one of the most commonly seen birds in the northeastern United States. In fact, they're the official state bird of Massachusetts. On the other hand, red-breasted mergansers are quite unusual here on my home patch. They have a preference for salt water, and we don't have any of that here. Having said that, for the past month or so, we've been seeing a few of them just about every day. In any case, it's great to get them on the list. This video isn't the best quality, so here's a nice photo I took a few weeks ago. Common mergansers are closely related to red-breasted mergansers, but they prefer freshwater. That's what we have here, so they're quite common, at least in the winter. Like many of the other duck species that I've shown, ringneck ducks are in the process of migrating north right now. Soon they'll be gone, but they'll be back in the late fall. This open area is actually a community garden. Soon it will be subdivided into small plots where local residents will plant vegetables and flowers. This is a fantastic birding spot in the fall when this area is packed with food and cover for migrating birds. At this time of year, it's quite barren, but there's actually one early spring migrant out there looking for a place to set up a nest. You may have heard it already in the background. European starlings are an introduced species, and they're widely considered to be a pest because of their tendency to form large, hungry flocks. I think they're kind of handsome in their speckled winter plumage, however. There's a small cattail marsh on the site, and so naturally there are red-winged blackbirds. Their loud, distinctive call is a sort of soundtrack for any wet, marshy habitat in the United States. So birds are not the only things that we can find at Horn Pond. Just had a really cool sighting of a coyote going by, and it got my dog excited, and every time my dog would rustle the leaves, the coyote would look over at us. So keep track of interesting things besides birds as well. This public 9-hole golf course is adjacent to Horn Pond, and I consider it part of my home patch. It's okay to walk around it in the winter, but obviously we need to stay off it once it opens, which will be quite soon. Well, of course, we have plenty of Canada geese at Horn Pond. I know, they're loud and messy and somewhat lacking in charm. But for birders, there's always the hope of finding a rare goose mixed in with the flock. Last winter, a very rare barnacle goose showed up at Horn Pond with a flock of Canada geese. That certainly created some excitement. Barred owls have become increasingly common in Massachusetts, but that doesn't mean they're easy to spot. I don't seem to have the knack for finding owls, but fortunately, I have friends that do. This is considered a pretty good look at this species. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up there for episode 1 of my Little Big Year. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please give me a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I'll be back soon with episode 2 because there's a lot more birds to find.